Josh, Nigeria and corruption. What is the story?
Nigeria and corruption is more like a Siamese twins.
I believe religions to contribute a huge chunk to the level of corruption in this country. Like there's a reason why there are several mosques in the north. There's this belief that if you sin and you do something towards Allah, He will forgive you of your sins.
Nigeria got aid for condom and condom has expired since 2022, 3 years ago. Now, these people are repackaging it in another case and then adding another expiring date to it. 2027.
And for context, they use Kiss brand, not like Kiss itself, where the one producing it.
So if you have ever used Kiss condom, maybe you should go and check yourself.
But the funny part of it for me is the fact that, okay, when people are taken to court and jailed for corruption, when they come out, they all stand giving.
I have a theory that Nigeria economy will not work without corruption. What's your take on that? Recently, I made a video about the fact that your 4 million naira cannot buy a bespoke suit. And this was just a rant based on the fact that I recently bought one. And a lot of people in the comment section were dragging me. They were like, no, you don't talk cut down on Nigeria like that. You are a child of the nation. You are a children of the state. This is the country that gave birth to the mother that murdered your mother. I was like, okay. So I should not speak to the truth again. I should not talk about the reality of Nigeria, the fact that our currency is now in shambles, the fact that we have been dealing with corruption for over 65 years, and the fact that we are still here talking about it. And tonight, that's what we are talking about. In the studio, we want to talk about Nigeria and the DNA of corruption, and the fact that can you truly be a Nigerian without being corrupt? Really? Or we are just overflogging the simple issue of corruption. What is the case? So if you stick around, we are going to keep this episode pretty short, very precise and accurate, and we are going to talk about numbers, data that point to the reality of Nigeria in the global scope of things. Where do we sit when we are talking about corruption? What kind of country are we? And what are we talking about when we talk about corruption? In the studio, I have with me a very awesome young man, not a failed political scientist, but a dropout political scientist. The person of Josh Tracy is right here with me. And far to my left, I have no other person than a graduate of political science, actually, serving at prison yard or something like that. I don't know. He will tell you later. And on my right here, I have no other person than a very respectable baby lawyer. He's a lawyer in the making. A guy a guy that has been on the level for almost 3 years now. No other person than me, Tracy. He has been interviewing presidents. When I'm talking about president, I'm talking about president at the university level and vice presidents. And he has been taking back kicks from those candidates too. We're going to know. He's going to defend himself. How do you pick one candidate over the other? Very corrupt lawyer. Corruption joke. And of course, I have no other person than John Wiss, my producer. It's not corrupt though, because if we say it's corrupt, the file of this video is going to corrupt. So, we are going to discuss corruption. You know like that it's corrupt. No, that's not corrupt like that. You get. Because he's a very wonderful man. And me, of course, I have no corruption in my skin. You know now. So, let's dive into it. Josh, Nigeria and corruption. What is the story?
Nigeria and corruption is more like a Siamese twins.
Okay.
You can trace it back to as far as possible. From the times that the colonial masters brought mirror, like we were told,
to exchange
for slaves, real human beings.
I even heard that Nigeria was sold by the Royal Niger Company, for an amount. It's like the space, the territory that later become the Southern and the Northern Protectorate were under the Royal Niger Company, and the British came to buy it from the Royal Niger Company.
There are several narratives around everything. But what I know is that I was at Badagry.
Okay.
That place that they did the slave trade, the museum, where we were carrying those chains. And I felt like, okay, so human being, they actually use this to carry human being from here to London or UK. It's crazy. Or US. It's crazy. So, as far as we can trace, corruption is in Nigeria. And then I think it's not exclusive to Nigeria actually. But then we are talking about the Nigerian version of corruption. So I think the Nigerian version of corruption is that which is very loud. Nigerian version of corruption is loud and then very entrenched, like it's deeply rooted into, and then is the version that is cultural. So it's almost in every facet.
What are you saying? We are culturally corrupt.
Wow.
Is that what you are saying?
See how you put it. It's very sounds like rhyme, but then what I'm saying is that Nigeria's corruption is unique in the sense that it is cultural. You can actually see it from your secondary school, primary school to university.
Okay.
Lecturer trying to like also trying to put up a form of capitalism, so to say. Say you want to you want to mark the grade, you're not selling it. It's one crazy form of capitalism, so to say. But then in real sense, you are being paid salary. I know you are putting
in my secondary school. There's one man, Mr. Ishola, is our biology teacher. So you might decide not to show up at the Saturday lesson, which Baba supposed to give us as notes in the proper Monday to Friday schedule calendar, because we have biology like twice in a week or something like that. Baba supposed to give us twice a week. Baba supposed to give us notes. This twice a week or so in the normal calendar. Baba will not give us notes during that time. We use those time to do revision. We use it to talk. So but Baba will arrange a class for Saturday. That's when the notes that we are going to discuss next week is going to be written, fully written. And Baba will not expect you to have that note by Monday. So he will expect you to have that note by Monday, and he will not expect you to have that note signed even by that Monday. Which means before you even sign it, you have to pay Baba the amount that you did not pay for coming to class. To that lesson, to that weekend lesson. So on weekend lesson, is the day to come and receive Baba note. And if you fail to show up, you will still pay the same 15 naira to sign it. So you copy the notes from your friend and you still pay the same 15 naira to sign it. Until now, I struggle with that idea. Like, you are not doing your day job. Okay. You will see all the Saturday class. Okay. That you now collect money to sign on Monday in case, because you will have signed all those people notes on that Saturday. Yeah, that's his 2FA, two-factor authentication. We have signed their notes on, and he has a very unique kind of signature that we mark, like they put the dates to the signature. So on Monday, you must have copied the note.
Imagine.
That means you use all of Saturday, all of Sundays, you have went to your friend and copied the note. By Monday, you will say, oh yes, you will enter trouble. And all of these are tactics. If you still collect his 15 naira.
No matter what. Now, let me put this context, right? When I say Nigeria's corruption is loud, it's the fact that I think sometimes they are historic. When you want to hear Africa and the Nigerian prince story, what will you say? They say he sold an airport. Whether there are bigger scandals than that, but that one that someone successfully sold an airport is something that will really make an headline. Now, here another one. They say allegedly Alison Madueke, I've forgotten her other name. That $20 billion disappeared from Nigerian treasury during Jonathan's regime, under her watch. You don't hear that in many other parts of the world easily like that. $20 billion, and then you hear that Dasuki Gate, $2 billion left that were you supposed to use to purchase arms meant to buy weapons to fight insurgency in the country, disappeared into thin air under Dasuki's watch. Our brand of corruption is that, which when you hear, if you don't add gate at the end of the day, at the end of it, you are joking. You are going to add doors. They are this loud one, and then you see. If
you don't add gates, you are going to add doors.
Exactly. So you see that it's funny, right? And then it's in Nigeria that a particular governor, as a 2000, what's it called? 2000, is it 5 or 4? I can't recall. I shall know it's during Obasanjo. The allocation was no more than, right now it's no more than $300 million per month that they give to Delta State. I don't know of them. It's not sure more than $300 million. Now, how will a state governor have, they say, allegedly steal $250 million?
That will be stole.
Okay, allegedly stole $250 million out of $300 million. It's crazy. You understand? So, our own version of corruption is unique. It's very, very unique.
So we have a special brand.
Yeah.
Before I move from this to my left, let me hear from the leftists. Political scientists. You are a guy. This guy is a dropout. So speak. Let us hear corruption from the lingos of the political, Jabaji. Give us. Let us see it.
Greetings to the incorruptible hosts. And to the incorruptible fellow podcasters, down to the incorruptible
Audience.
We greet you.
So the issue of corruption is a stale subject, right? For we Nigerians, it is literally everywhere. You see it in the market, you see it in the schools, everywhere you see it. So I saw a news where EFC detained 10 of the officers that stole over $350,000 worth of jewelries in their office. Right? Imagine EFC arresting somebody for crime and seizing those people their property. And those same EFCC, their staff also stole the properties too. So who is boboing who? That's the level of corruption we are battling in this country.
So in one word, the anti-corruption agent has corrupt officer.
Every EFCC
Absolutely.
chairman. We go
Absolutely.
to jail.
Yeah, for corruption.
Except for Ribadu. Every EFCC chairman has always gone to jail.
Has always been.
They all have one charge or not. They have one corruption case.
So it seems that you know so much about this subject matter, Beatrice. So let me hear from you before we go back to the EFCC auditor, because if EFCC come and audit you back, I will not be there. So let me hear from you. What's the case? What do you think corruption is, and why is Nigeria a special case?
Personally, I would have said that Nigeria is not really a special case when it comes to corruption, because corruption is across the board. But on a second look, Nigeria is indeed a special case, given that corruption is so normalized that if you are being anti-corruption or trying to not be corrupt, you are going to lose out. So it's no longer a fair game because of the levels at which corruption has been rationalized. Of course, it is illegal, Abi, on many grounds. But we have swatted away that law. Okay, let me give you an example. We know social contract. Thank God, these are political science experts. So now we know what social contract is. Now the law of the land is no longer going in tandem with our social contract. Because our social contract is like we have normalized these corrupt practices. Corruption is wide, Abi. But let me give you a good example. A good example is cutting lines. Like we are staying on queue. Somebody will bring somebody. I know this guy. I know him. He has been here since.
We just jump the queue.
And then the person just jump the queue. That's corruption. So it's to that kind of extent. In Nigeria, those things are completely normalized. This a very good one that I'm also guilty of. That I've also been guilty of in time past is the one of certificates, like writing exams. Writing exam in a place where people are doing what's the name?
Special centers.
Special centers. So now in Nigeria, it is a normal thing. There's no way you might say it's illegal, of course. But when something is illegal, but the world is practicing, even the IG of police is children routes in special centers. For instance, I'm not necessarily saying he did that, but it is so like proliferated to that extent. To the point that it was one time when I did not do that, I became a victim of it. So can you see how much it is deeply entrenched in the fabric of our nation, to the point where I think that's what makes our own special, because we see it as rational. We see it as normal. We have rationalized it. I think in many other countries where they are corrupt, because they are doing insanely corrupt stuff in so many countries. But what I noticed is that they still have a tendency to look at it with, this thing is bad. But in Nigeria, we are looking at it with if you are not doing it, you are saying like, why are you dumb? Wise up.
I think we have this holier than that lens that we use to punish the people that try to build. We call it like, it's more like if there's a pastor that just moved in from to a new place, a new church, and that pastor is trying to keep a standard, trying to ensure that don't molest young kid, young girl, don't do this, he's trying to sanitize every other pastor. We easily say, why is he acting holier than that?
Exactly that.
Why is he acting like if he's Jesus?
All of us and all of us not sinners.
And I think we even go the way to dig dirt on people that are trying to be upstanding, right? I think it's one of the reasons why people like Nedu, we host a podcast with D1 and then they call out VDM and all of a sudden the VDM will go and dig out something on Nedu
as a response.
We don't take accountability. We fight back
for ban.
In this one, I think the way corruption works is that it's just fight back.
Exactly.
It's a stronghold.
Our default mentality is everybody's a sinner. So we rather shame somebody that is trying not to be a sinner than say, oh, this person is trying, let us follow his example. No, we say, no, this person too, let us go and look for his sin. That's the solution. So that all of us will be equal. I think that's the reason why our own is unique, and that's why it is so deeply rooted.
We are baited in it. We are Christian in it. It is our birthright.
Exactly.
We see it as being smart.
We see it as being smart.
Ogbon, Warisi.
Sodiq.
Ogbon.
One of my uncle was once the counselor of our ward back then. So somebody was not asking him for fund, for money. Say, uncle, we are the counselor now. You two supposed to enjoy now. At least thief our own portion and give to settle everybody. And he was like, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, blah blah blah. Though he later stole too. But the one he stole, he didn't give it out. He didn't give it to.
Do you know that ordinary class governor of a university, of a department, what I'm saying university, class governor in one department will be found guilty of corruption, of collecting some money so that he'll be writing attendance for students that did not show up in class, or helping somebody to work his way with lecturer. Or there's one time they said one SU president stole millions.
Yeah.
Whether it's you or you
See, that should be in learning.
or something like that. That one stole millions. I was like, what is happening here? Honorary SU
President.
SU president, student union president. What will now happen if this one become local government chairman? What is that? So I think it's like the default template of Nigeria, and I agree with you. But we are not here from John. I think John will disagree with all of us, because it seems that all of us are sleeping, maybe because we have touch of black on our clothing. We are sleeping and we are putting our head in one place. John.
Thank you. I don't know why people are just blemishing our white garments.
Wow.
So
there's a white kiss cow on your chest, so obviously you have a white heart.
The thing about corruption in Nigeria is the fact that it has been entrenched in us over generations. So there is this thing that Yoruba used to say, that is, if a leaf that is wrapped in what is it called? If a soap is wrapped in a leaf, in a long while, it will become, the leaf too will be acting as soap at a point. So it has plagued us to that level.
I think they also have another which is Aguntan to ba baja rin yo jegbe. The sheep that followed, that befriend a dog, we at one point start eating shit. Because
the new generations are being born into this corruption, and then they don't know anything other.
Do you know the worst part? I've seen parents that actively take their child to Yahoo boy training facility, tutorials.
Imagine.
You know how they used to take people to, in our generation, they would take us to UTME centers to go and learn.
Computer centers to learn how to use computer.
Correct draw, So parents are actively taking their kids to hand them over to Yahoo boys. There are many parents that have been here to hand over their sons and co to me that, I should train them under the belief that I'm a Yahoo guy somewhere that can train them on how to do Yahoo. So when I show them the hard way of making money online, those kids will run away at last. So I think you are very right on the right path on that agreement.
Exactly, which is certainly the point. We have given up on thinking that corruption will go. because we are more like into it. It is a wrong thing to be the negative, to be the other way. Like you say you are standing against corruption. It is because if you say you are standing against corruption, we still believe you are corrupt. So nobody will believe you that you are standing against corruption really. So we even have and one thing that I think the more we talk about corruption, the more corrupt we become. This guy Buhari made corruption his mandate, like the sort thing that he comes to eradicate. Yet here is Nigeria. At least I know about his administration that his administration was not free from.
That's where we find one person that is building 1,000 housing units somewhere or something like that.
Imagine he the CBN governor.
Was it not his administration where snake was swallowing, monkey was swallowing money and
monkeys swallowed money, snakes swallowed money.
So I at this point, I just think we have agreed that you are only corrupt when you are caught. So it is about being caught that makes you a corrupt person. If you are not yet being caught, you are still not corrupt.
Any level
Exactly.
Everybody. Any level barao. So I think we even have lyrics for it. I guess Olamide or something like that.
Naira Marley.
Oh, philosopher Naira Marley. Interesting.
Because that's what I hear every time now. If you are the one that is trying to be not, you are stupid, you are dumb, and then it will hurt you because at the end of the day you see that.
I think we see it as smart work, cutting corners, etc. In fact, these days, every time I see somebody that is moving mad, especially building houses, right? I'm very skeptical. I'm like, especially you are a 9 to 5er, and all of a sudden you are buying block, building this one, doing No be Galus be this. No be Galus GMK be this. Is it not the same 100,000 they are paying you all this way? Why are you not building a house 20 years ago when you started this job? 10 years ago when you started this job?
Exactly.
All of a sudden you are building, we are buying every now and then. You are buying this. Hey. Now, I'm not talking about entrepreneur. Maybe business is moving. You just started a new product line, whatever. It's possible. Of course, I build houses, so I know you can do it. But there are some people that I know they are 9 to 5. They are working in one company. Your salary don't all of a sudden manifest over there. Is it that your family members stop eating, or your kids stop going to school, or where did all this money start coming from?
It's funny that the reality of Nigeria, it is very hard for you to live within 70k.
Yeah, it's not possible.
It's almost not possible, and that is the minimum wage of Nigeria. So how is it not happening? If it's not that there is corruption all over that is feeding people, that people are relying on. If you are going based on the number, it doesn't match up. It doesn't match up. What people are doing compared to the minimum wage, it does not correlate.
The number of people that are surviving ought not to be surviving.
Exactly. If we
there's this thing that is very funny. Do you know that even the governor, I think their salary last time I checked was like 2 million naira or something like that.
President 2 million.
President 2 million naira. So think about it.
Minister 1 million plus.
Think about
how are you
it.
supposed to live? A normal person will not live a quality life with 1 million naira a month. Not to talk of a president, somebody of that caliber. It's ridiculous. So
No, their allowances though.
I have a theory that Nigeria economy will not work, will crumble without corruption. What's your argument? What's your take on that? I fundamentally believe Nigeria will not run. Because I, for instance, have experienced it. Most of the people that end up, getting a website from us, order a suit, most of them, they don't have their money. I wonder where they get it. Like, I have a girlfriend that have 10 million or so in her bank account. And I know the kind of job she does. I'm like, they are paying you 200k a month. You have 10 million. I don't want to go there. I will not discuss this matter with you. I won't.
exactly.
We should never go there. Don't let us go there. And the funny part is that you see somebody that has salary of 200k and they want to make an expense of 10 million and they are doing as if the money should complete in 1 week. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So I know that we live in a future that we have not created.
I think that's one of the reasons why the pressure is getting worse like we used to say, because you see people that are supposed to be on your level, that you are working in the same place, at the same time, they are living more affluently than you are. Like, they are building mansions that you cannot afford to think about.
I said the one guy stole 120 million naira worth of Indomie.
What the fuck?
I'm trying to wrap my head around 120 million naira worth of Indomie.
Indomie, how do you do that? So now,
you are selling one carton for 10k. How many cartons is that missing? How many cartons is missing?
For 120
Million.
That is
It should be something like 12,000 cartons.
I think each carton contains 40.
40 pieces.
40 pieces, yeah.
what the heck? So the two of us are truck drivers. You are building mansions, not knowing that you have diverted 120 million worth of Indomie. And me, I'll be looking at you that am I dumb? So I think the idea of corruption in Nigeria is not about feeling that it is a smart way. It's not a feeling that it's a smart way. It is actually a smart way based on our reality.
I think to us, it's actually evening out. I think that's where we see it. Like we even out the equation. It's like, don't be all of you now. Don't never move out, man.
You don't move.
I'm evening the, like, you get the point.
I'm
evening out the equation. Like, okay, the former president will go no team money. Why won't I see my own? Oh, it would be okay. The former local government chairman did not see. What is this one?
I don't actually know if this is a positive thing or negative thing, but I just want to say that in 180 countries that are there in the world, Nigeria is number 140 when it comes to corruption. At least we are not the last. I know many people will think we are the last. At least we are not the last.
140. So there are 40 countries worse than us.
Yeah.
50 countries worse than us.
Based on
is it in the worst or the least corrupt?
In the worst,
according to what platform?
Are we the worst or least corrupt? Or
we are worse now.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
from the
number
best.
140.
Yeah, it's from best to the least.
worst.
Okay.
Wait,
okay.
by which platform?
Which
Let me
platform?
check it for you.
Statistics or something.
Let me.
Are you sure?
Okay.
What of
okay.
statistics? I'm asking.
Okay. Now,
But because my reality do not agree with that.
if you look at, you were saying something, you were asking a question earlier on that our economy will crumble if we.
Yeah,
there's no
I
corruption.
fundamentally believe it.
Some stats may actually support that because if you check the number of, say, billionaires we have and the booming sectors of Nigeria's economy, right? If you check if you check oil, subsidy is a scam going on there. Is the what's it called? The fraud going on there, and it has been the corruption going habitat for the Nigerian economy. So that one is one, and then it has really bet so many people that are very rich. So that's one. Oil. Now go to the banking sector.
Exactly.
That looks like, okay, yes, these people are building stuff ground up. But if you look at it, it's very...
Funny enough, let me credit Nigeria. We have faster transfer than US when it comes to bank transaction. Do you know?
I think they focus... Okay, actual bank transaction.
Yes,
I think they focus more
not all
on...
those Zelle and paper and co. We actually have a bank
at least than any other country in
that
Africa.
is more efficient than
any other country in
UK
Africa,
or
at least.
Whatever.
At least. Now, so if you look at it, our banking sector that looks awesome and everything, building ground up. Now, check the details. You see that many of them made the huge money out of forex arbitrage. You understand? So you see, it's the FX scam, FX fraud, FX corruption that is happening, that is actually building that industry. Now, which other industry is also booming? Real estate. How did we say this? Say it together.
Yeah, of course. That is and those not the people that we interview. And we see how they were saying that they can turn a 1 million naira land into a 6 million naira worth of land, or
60 million
naira worth of land overnight without, just because they do parameter fencing and all those nice global CFO. I don't know what the fuck is a global CFO.
So now they say when the story doesn't make sense, follow the money. Follow the fraud sometimes. Now you're like, okay, why is it that Lagos is almost everybody saying, builders, buy the house, buy land, buy this one, buy that. It's the fact that a lot of people that are actually having the money, buying most of the land, they got the money and then they really just want somewhere to bury it. You understand? Without get before they get caught, or so that they don't ever get caught.
Look at this guy that
So that they can
sent
present
all this money to pay for school fees. Jahabilu. Ahead of time.
ahead of time.
So
just
education
before you
fraud
release-
day. Because
wow.
of course now all this pali in the first place. Look at how people are manifesting different degrees from different quarter. Some people have not even entered exam hall before. And they have degrees. So
Non-appearance.
and, Betray just talk about all these exams. Which sector is not corrupt in Nigeria?
I strongly believe that without all those special centers, many people will not be able to get into university.
And see failure
Many
rate
people
with
will not
JAM
be-
now.
because when you see the failure rate with JAM, go and compare it with the success rate with
NECO.
NECO and WAEC,
WAEC.
you realize that something
No. Honestly,
is seriously
when
going on.
I sometimes I even consider should I write to WAEC again of if I'm applying for law. Because if you look at it, you look at all the young boys that just did WAEC. They will have
Exactly.
boys that you are teaching and they don't know anything. They will not pack in their whatever.
And then you ask them what's your JAM score, they tell you 170.
I mean that
It
not need
pays.
anything self score 270 something.
160.
160 and you have 4 A's. How did you do it?
2C, no D.
No D.
I mean this is a good reference in points. Baba go clear everything.
Yeah.
I'm like this guy that not read anything.
That doesn't know anything.
They don't know anything.
Know anything.
Because how will you be having 150, 160
So
in JAM?
education is corrupt, real estate is corrupt, finance is corrupt, oil corrupt.
and the worst place that you can actually imagine this is in religious aspects, like the churches and mosques, and then we are seeing pastors that are being arrested for corruption.
Bishop Daniels.
You know, a pastor recently went to prison for.
I think his name is Feyi Daniels or something like that.
And there's
Bishop
another one.
Faye.
There's another one that went because of collecting $100,000 or $200,000 from the bear. One pastor used to preach up and down. People used to
Yes.
post on WhatsApp.
White
People still
garment.
post that pastor till today.
Yeah,
They still post him. He's
No, he
back
has
now.
served his term now.
He has served his term.
Yeah.
And he's out.
So and you see
As
how
a
much,
corrupt
and the
person.
church has not reduced.
So
It
that
just-
means his church member do not care that he's corrupt.
Like
No.
fraud,
No,
like
you know,
defrauded someone.
forget it though. You know, that's what happens to fandom. When people are your fans, you are never wrong. You'd never, even if you shoot somebody, you didn't shoot the person. But the funny part of it for me is the fact that, okay, when people are taken to court and jailed for corruption, when they come out, they all stand giving. A good case is this man, allegedly, even though he has served some time. And this man, what's his name? That your favorite PDP politician, Bodijoy.
What do you mean, my favorite politician? What do you mean?
They said he misappropriated allegedly. I've not confirmed the information. They said he mishandled some certain amount of billions, maybe 18 billion or 80 billion, I can't remember. And then he was sent to prison, right? And then later he came outside. The person that sent him to prison even went for his Thanksgiving. At the end of the day, so what are we thanking God about? If not that person he believes is an incorruptible person. He did that was being just vilified. And to be frank, the only person that people they will pick on is someone that they just want to use as scapegoat.
Exactly.
It's not like anybody. He just give us the cut.
A case in point, Bobrisky actually went to is it jail for some time because of the money
correctional center.
to a correctional center because of he was spraying money, and then we have seen other people that are spraying money and then nothing
No,
happened to
he
them.
pleaded guilty actually.
No, those people are not even tried at all.
And then we have
We have them on video.
videos.
We have them on video.
They are videos, and yet nothing
It might
happened.
be AI doctor. This one.
The commissioner of
one
police
said-
decided not to pursue prosecution.
And for
Because
some
of
reason
lack of
or the
evidence.
other.
Cubana chief priest was they took him to court.
No, he was bailed now, and then they
He said he was not guilty.
he said he was not guilty, but they didn't even allow him prove it. Before we said we will do community service and then tell Nigerians not to be spraying money, blah blah blah. That was it. But this particular person, that was a specimen, his scapegoat, was actually
He's a
jailed
scapegoat.
because
So you will not be punished for corruption if you have a larger web of corruption.
If you are in good favor of the majority.
See this issue of corruption. I believe religious to contribute a huge chunk to the level of corruption in this country. Like there is a reason why there are several mosques in the north. right? Because there's this belief that if you sin and you do something towards Allah, you forgive you of your sins. So why not just steal $2 million and build mosque of
You are a very
10 million
nice
naira?
person. Who in this country that you see is stealing $2 million these days? If it's not $200 million, it is $1 billion.
So why not just steal a whole lot of money and build 1 or 2 mosques? And
At
ask
least
God
money that
ask
can
God
afford
for
you to build
forgiveness.
mosque.
Like the issue me I have with the Nigerian version of corruption is the fact that there's really no upside to go the other way.
So for not being corrupt.
For not being corrupt. Okay, so you be like, okay, yes, I am incorruptible. I am this one.
Do you know the first time that I deeply understand the nature of corruption in this country was when I was at Sango, and there's this woman that I often visit. I think I've told the story several times, and she's happy on the fact that Allahu Akala is usually issued out every week. What's it called? Materials, Ankara and whatever, and Kampala and lace for the parties that's going to happen that week. So she enjoyed that era. She will get a copy of the clothes. She will make it for all the sisters in the area, all the Oteletele sisters in the area, all the Obio sisters in the area. And that's how she makes her money. They get the clothes for free, but she only charge them for tailoring. And she will charge her. She will add a lot of nets to it. She break down the economics for me. I was shocked that if she got to like 10 yards, it's only 1 yard she will use per person. Even half a yard safe. That she will mix it with a lot of
she
nets.
get 10 yards per person or what?
She will get 10 yards. They will distribute. The party will distribute to her. So she will get like 10 or 20 yards, and then she will per each girls. It's like half a yard or 1 yard that is going to use.
They will add nets. Stuff now.
It's skimpy and whatever. It's just nets and
they will pay premium.
And they will pay premium. And that's their access token to those parties. That's how they will be able to enter it. And that's their own pass code to the party.
And those ones who want to go and advertise their
their Okwe at the business center. So, and then she just said that she doesn't like the new administration. I think it was Ajumobi or something or whatever. They're not partying. And there's no clothes coming out. So that's one of the reasons why she doesn't like the administration.
So corruption has its own industry.
Yeah, it's just spread across everywhere. And then there's these girls that the same song when I was in song. That's the first time I knew that buying a bag of rice is not good for you. If you are buying it from sources like those people, they will have removed 2, 3, 4 Congos from the bag of rice.
They have this tool they use.
I'm serious.
That will not close itself.
Yeah.
That the bag will close itself after they remove it.
After they remove it. I was so shocked. And they will pack it.
Imagine you.
And they will looking forward to sell it to us. I was like, And then we used to buy it's cheaper.
Was it earlier today that Josh was showing me these people that are manufacturing condoms? Mm-hmm. So they actually there was USAID.
There's even fake focus. I saw one video like that they were showing how they were making fake focus. They are making
So Nigeria got aid from US, US aid for condom. They give us condom, and the condom has expired since 2022. That's how many years ago? Like 3 years ago. Now these people are repackaging it in another case and then adding another expiring date to it. So 2027. So the condom that has expired 2022 that was supposed to be shared to people freely. I don't know how they intend to do it, but it was an aid.
Those ones are usually shared freely.
So it was an aid, and these people, I'm very sure that they intentionally delayed it to be expired, and then now they are now rebranding it. So we are just living in it.
And the same for context, they used Kiss brand, not like Kiss itself, where the one producing it.
Exactly. Okay. They use Kiss brand, like Kiss brand. So if you have ever used Kiss condom, maybe you should go and check yourself. Or you might have an unwelcome kid that you did not expect
like this country, I don't know.
I see people comment on Twitter that you are spoiling innovation. When NAFDA goes to go and raid all these shops that they are selling counterfeit anti-malaria drugs. Anti-malaria.
So it is normal thing for us to defend corruption.
And baby drugs.
For crying out loud. Baby drugs.
Imagine. As it's
So
funny.
you buy drug and the drug will not work. You will be like, this
or
drug
it
will
can
not
cause
work
you
for me.
even more harm. Because
More
I don't think
damage.
they are checking anything. If it's just pure chalk, maybe. But
I
I'm
think
not
a
sure
pharmacist was saying that no, don't buy this one. Don't buy this one. Because he knows the person that he wanted to sell to. Which means if it's somebody else, she knows that drug is fake and she will
But
still
she's
sell it to
selling
the
it,
person,
yeah.
to somebody else.
No, she's actually saying that one because she knows she will collect higher money for presenting that one as not fake. So that one says
It's not as if
it's
it's
fake.
not corrupt. Don't trust Nigeria. Nigerians are corrupt too.
Sir.
Don't trust Nigeria. Nigerians can sell their first kids. They can sell their wife and children because of money.
See,
So
insane. Someone they sold child.
they are selling kids too.
Said child.
To each other, 150,000 or something like that. They are selling baby.
And for
Illegal adoption.
100 bay, 150 bay, they will share the money.
So,
It was even one pastor said.
yeah, it's a pastor that was answering and ensuring the transfer of babies from the people that doesn't need it to people that need the baby. It's so ridiculous. So
And the funny thing
now
is-
the question is that so that we can wrap up this episode. What's the way out? Do you see any way out? Do you see Nigeria? Because I believe fundamentally Nigeria will crumble without corruption. If
I
the
think-
system is
I think-
not leaking like that, I don't think it will work. Because I noticed one thing, right? The companies that retain talents the longest are the companies where there are pathways to become a billionaire while you are working there. Do you notice?
Mm-hmm.
If the company can allow people to chop it till wreck, people will not go. I've seen that you tell people, you are collecting 20,000 a day. Why don't you come and work with us where we will pay you 50,000? They will say, sir, thank you for the opportunity. I will think about it. Once the person come around, look at your company, there's no way to steal more extra money here. They will not come. You'll be wondering, why do you stick to a 20,000 job? Say, it's closer to my house. I have a mother that I'm taking care of. It's a lie. It's a lie.
Somebody that is diverting petrol.
Then,
Diverting companies petrol.
if I could recall properly, my brother was working at one court at one time, Delhi court or something like that. And every day, my brother will lift almost 50 liters, 100 liters of diesel.
What the fuck?
I went to my brother's barbering shop. He has a barbering shop. He got a plasma TV. He do this, bought KMPS, do barbering shop. If you wonder that maybe my brother is a rich kid or somewhere that he has all this money to set up a very nice barbering shop. If you enter his shop like this, you will see kegs of diesel.
Wow.
At home too, kegs of filled diesel. And he was selling to all these market women that need diesel. He was just selling it at very cheap. And people love it due to the fact that it's cheaper than buying it from the petrol station. And I, every time I try to understand that, Yoruba people used to say this thing. They said, Agbepolaja ò jalè. Tó ẹni tó bá gbálẹ̀.
Exactly.
Imagine that you stole diesel and there's nobody to buy stolen diesel from you.
Exactly.
Will you consider stealing diesel?
Definitely not.
So I think our economy flourish on the fact that we all somehow have embraced corruption and corrupt practices and cheaper route and cheaper alternatives. We love it. We love it when our kids that we actually were training to finish their study did not end up needing to write their exam themselves.
Exactly.
And they score A and we will still brag about it. And there's one woman that sent her kids result to me recently and I was like, no be private center, you no be special center, you send it.
And the funny thing is,
Why you not sending me the result as if she did something special?
there was this guy that came to live at our place. The guy, he had straight A's and B's. Me, I don't have straight A's. I think I only have one A. So all of them are like B and C like that. So this guy, he is now applying for Polytechnic. Me, that I have those results, I'm applying for. I'm like, what's happening here? You're supposed to be a bright kid. What are you doing in Polytechnic? So later on, I heard that his sister wrote an exam and then their center, they actually blocked the result of their center, which means similar thing. He did similar thing to get that result.
And then it's jam too now. That's why it's going
And
to
then it's
Polytechnic.
jam.
Jam is one kind
His
of
jam is
equalizer.
it's not jamming.
Low key.
So I think when I got to Unilorin, there was our early, we like he has to clear us, and then we are all in this office. The first person will come to him and he will check and then say, this is your result and your JAMB. It does not correlate. And then he said that to many others, like your JAMB result is 210 and then you have straight A's. How did that happen?
You're supposed to have 320.
Exactly.
Okay, no, you're saying how to
way out.
Way out.
Let's talk way out and leave this.
I don't think Nigerians we are interested in way out. Why? Because you can see people fighting against subsidy removal. Because I think Nigerian politician has figured out that it's cultural.
What I'm concerned about is that I know somewhere one University of Ibadan students is watching this, one University of Ilorin students is watching this, and they're like, okay, we have heard all of this that we are discussing about corruption ever since. And in their mind, what they are thinking is, I'm going to be the guy that fights the corruption. And I think many people, I call this, there's self-awareness, there's self-delusion. And I think we have a widespread self-delusion in this country. And we easily see ghosts. Small thing, you are started seeing ghosts. So they show you one way to make small money. You started seeing ghosts. Right? And I think we see ghosts a lot across board.
In 3D.
We in 3D. So we see ghosts in terms of, if I get there, I'm going to solve the corruption. And it's a lie. It's something that they put you in charge of, you're already corrupt. They put you in charge of some certain girls. You that just become class, you have slept with about half of the class. And the people have that illusion, that illusion. And that's why I'm saying, what's the way out? What's your message? Thinking of that population, what's your message to them?
The Anobi that did it the last time. Let me tell you a story. They say when you fight corruption will fight back in Nigeria. Nuru Ribadu, they gave him $15 million as a cut for someone that stole close to $300 million. A governor that stole $300 million. 15 million. He said he put it in CBN. He didn't touch it. And incorruptible, right? So when he did that, and then was actually trying every other governors and was fighting them tooth and nail. This incorruptible guy is not going to collect. He's not going to collect bribe from them. He's not going to collect almost anything from them.
He will collect it, but we give it to the government.
You collect it from someone and then give it to the government. You know what they did for him? They treated his fuck up. They demoted him from his position. And then they demoted him to one nonsense position. And then they gave him compulsory leave to go to one year school like that to go and study. So like they just demoted, they spoiled his trajectory.
They placed him aside.
They placed him aside. So when you try to fight corruption in Nigeria, corruption will fight you. Fight back. Vehemently. And you see, when you are fighting corruption in Nigeria, you are fighting cartels. Forget all this, you see, when they are trying to do this forex and unify the exchange rate of this one, that one. People that they've gone against. If the president is not cartel, allegedly on his own right, I don't think he can be making all those. So Okonjo-Iweala also told us the same story. Her mother was kidnapped and they were asking for ransom. So the point is, I think it's a futile journey trying to fight corruption. Just leave it on his own. What you want to do, face your own life. And to be frank, it will amaze you that some people will argue that you are spoiling their livelihood because they will tell you the reality of things.
And the funny part is that even pastors are collecting the bribe, the money, the tithes
of the.
I will not call it bribe. They are collecting the tithes of the work of the Zion, of the seeds of whatever. If pastors are saying that their church members are sending them 500 million, sending them 1 billion, I'm sure those church members are not normal.
Imam, one guy, I don't know, this mufti something that comes from, I don't know, maybe it's Arab country. He said he came to Nigeria. He said when people were giving, he shocked in Nigeria.
Yeah, Mufti Menk.
He said these are politicians that they came in Abuja, that the first person that will first donated 1 billion naira. He said he's shocked that he said the reason why the rest were not donating more than 1 billion once, they were donating 999 million is because in that part they respect brother, eldest person, that I can't donate more than the eldest person, that they will have tier stuff that particularly. That I was amazed at how much people are willing to give in Nigeria. Mufti.
So you are missing the point.
Yeah, you are not getting.
They are moving things behind you, sir.
See, there's no upside, right? This our brother, I don't know if it's your brother, he's not my brother. Babangida. Babangida was the president, what was he called? He was the
Head of
supreme
state.
leader of Nigeria at one point in time. Imagine. Now, he said he was releasing a book and then he wants to build a library, memorial library. They gathered several people. All the billionaires.
16.9 billion.
They raised 16.9 billion. That's less than $10 million. That was how much they were able to raise at the end of the day. Even when Obasanjo was raising his own, it was $40 million that they raised then. In terms of dollar, 4 billion in naira bets. This thing. But that's not even my point. My point is this. He only needed to press a few buttons when he was in government. And he will just carry $1 billion. He will just divert $20 billion. So if he has that option, versus years later, some people at the end of the day, when billionaires of the country, people you have made billionaires and everything, the highest amount they will be able to like donate is $10 million for your this. You see, there's no upside to it. When he has that opportunity, what does that say he should do?
Why not siphon?
Should you? Does it not make sense
Do you know
that like
one thing that
Abacha?
still shocked me today is the fact that they are still collecting money. Tomorrow morning they will still tell us that they recover another Abacha stolen from.
I moved crazy. They moved crazy.
I've not seen them say they recovered any Babangida money before. You notice that? I've not. But see Abacha. They will see $250 million. We see enter. We see enter.
Abacha loot no dey finish.
No, even people that are negotiating the money, they are collecting
Commission.
huge money, and they are even big guys. Wow. I don't get solution to our corruption. The only thing I know is that face your life.
It is what it is.
Fighting against it is suicide.
That means that you drop out from political science. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah.
Give us a
Juggernaut.
graduate perspective.
Political
Igaga.
Give us the political scientists, lens into this, into the parapet of this purview.
Thank you very much. See, let's not whine ourselves. There is no clear-cut way out of corruption for we Nigerians. So let's not whine ourselves. Even the smallest of the kids on the streets, we try to job you. That's how bad it is. So I am not seeing any possible.
So what's your recommendation? What do you recommend?
I think I'll go with my brother. What just said.
Face your life.
And just face your life and face your work.
All this Messiah
But I thought
syndrome.
B2B is going to solve the problem.
Oh yeah.
Even he said it that you can't defeat corruption. I think he said something like that too. You can't defeat corruption in this country.
Exported.
You know Tinubu's opinion about it. He doesn't believe that corruption is something you can eradicate. He said the best thing you can do is that, okay, if you can, let's say, increase access to credit, that people can access certain amount, that you don't want to build a house, that they can get a mortgage to build a house, or if they can just get access to that fund and they'll be paying it off their salary for a long time, that it will reduce the appetite to say maybe they want to go and steal, because stealing it is even a harder alternative for you. So that's his own idea about it, or that you should systematically block the leakage, like say FX, block the with the other these oil scam too. Like if you systematically block it.
I think he clearly exposed that when he was explaining the judges issue. Judges are prone to corruption because of the nature of their job. Now, what he was trying to point out was that when you increase judges' salaries, there will be a lower appetite to be corrupt. So it won't be that somebody it's because your child is sick, is in the hospital, is why you will now collect.
Because the funny part is that Elon Musk made a comment recently. He said, people say he's Putin's puppet. He said he can't afford it.
Imagine.
He just put it like that. He said,
Straight.
think about it. Putin can't afford it. So if you can't afford the judge, of course,
He said,
you can't corrupt
he
the
gave
judge.
an example now. He said, if you are a judge and then the criminal that is giving you lift.
Exactly. Yeah, use that example.
You can't afford
the criminal is giving you lift. I don't have a car.
Or say you can't afford even if you have a car, you can't afford this thing, and then now give you lift. the person you want to judge against, you will change your mind. So you really need to reduce the appetite. And he did that in Lagos.
He did this in
To
Lagos.
announce
And
that they are
I love
collecting
that.
some-
And it's a kind of a standard since then. What I will add to this is just like they've said. I also believe in the idea of blocking leakages and stuff like that. But I feel like the only part where we talk about maybe stopping corruption is maybe when you have a job to do something to block maybe when you have a specific task in hand. Try as much as possible to block every possible way to corruption in that specific task. Do that one. But saying you want to come and do the Ayodran, God will not help you, self. God will not help you because these people that are doing the corruption to are praying to
The Bible
God.
said, he said the heart of man is deeply corrupt. No one can know it.
They can know it. So
He just said no man. He said no one can know it.
So you tell me.
I don't know. Do you listen to that line? That means even God self. I'm not saying no one because no one can know it.
It is the corruption is too deep and too. But you start saying that's why I want to come and waste your time. But if you have like a code base, you are doing the business or whatever, or you are saddled with a responsibility, try to block leakages.
Do you know what shocked me recently? Is when a client of ours was giving feedback about KitKat's blockchain like inventory management.
Sure.
And he was saying that the staff they said 14 products went missing. But on our system, it's still there. They can't remove it from our system. They can't delete it from it's there. 14 products still there. Until she was hammering on them that they are going to pay back since the thing did not move out on KitKat. That's when they find
They provided it.
They provided the manifest. So when business was saying have a code, he's a software engineer, he's saying that use a platform like KitKat to power your business. So that way you are sure that you are managing your inventory properly. Nobody can see this, cannot disappear from the screen. Unlike most other software where products can disappear both physically and digitally. On KitKat, if the product is in your store, it must be on the KitKat platform. There's no way to miraculously disappear it. If a product is moving out of your cart, then there must be a clear record of when it moved, how it moved, and who
and by whom.
And by whom it was moved. And I love that about the technology that we build.
Yeah, so it's just something like that. So if it is your own responsibility, ensure that you are tight about it. You have done your part. That's the best you can do. Leave the rest for God. The other general, everybody.
We still need to build a software that help monitor bag of rice being reduced.
That is true.
They are reducing the bag of rice from what that
What I will tell you is that in every situation, I don't lose. You see, the advice that Tracy just gave now. Okay, so if you are in your niche, you are the EFCC chairman or you are the whatever this thing, in your niche, you are trying to block things. So I read this story. I think is the name of the story is Egbenriote. This guy was trying to be an advocate for the laborer. You know what they did to him? He was like hell-bent on saying that he's not going to collect bribe. So they invited him. Those people that are at the angle of Odin, those people that are at the top.
At the end of affair.
At the end of affair, they invited him and then they told him that he should blah, 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 that they wanted to bribe him and all of that. So he said no, that he's standing on his mandate. He's not going to. The second morning, you know what happened? They took his snap where he was with them and then where they were actually offering him money. He did not collect it, but there was a picture where they were offering him. So they released that picture and that picture was what was used against him. And then people that he was actually fighting for and were now like, so you are this kind of person, you are also corrupt. So my own point is that you should think and then in every situation try as much as possible not to lose. I think that is it. And
if they bring camera, bring video. Bring picture.
Exactly, if you can do that.
Or what?
Is that what?
What?
I don't know. I don't know.
I know this guy, Jibrin. That time was anti-corruption, this thing in House of Rep. That time, you know me, I just started. I like all these social justice crusaders. So I was watching in TDD, watching. He was doing like very dark one inside. What's it called? Inside House of Rep. Then they said they were investigating subsidy scam. Then they mentioned this guy's company, allegedly, $10 company, and then it was there and we just noticed that they were going to investigate the last company. The next thing we saw was a videotape where the guy was putting money
In his head.
in his head and pocket. $500,000. That was the end of his career.
Wow.
He was jailed. He collected the money actually, right? 500K. But I think it was released not too long. $500,000 is how much?
Half a billion.
They didn't recover it from him,
750 million.
actually. So I don't know if it's worth the entire but his brand is gone forever. So
It's gone.
I don't know.
750
I don't know if you see the upside with or not with doing anti-corruption, whatever.
Interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have it. If you're asking for my opinion, you can't have it because I am a very uncorruptible man of high principle, high caliber, high status. Please don't bring corruption to my doorstep. But if you find a way we can still under $1 billion together, you can call my number on 081 999 33754. I'm not joking. If we see $1 billion package that we can both run together. But with that being said, you have had this another successful episode of National Dialogue, and this so-called fly that is affecting us is very corrupt one. I will see you in the next episode. I hope you have something to say in the comment section about the state of corruption. What you think? I know many of you will come up with a big long essay about why we are talking rubbish on corruption. Corruption is the fight as a bulldog with tooth and nail.
Okay.
God will help you. You think it's your article you use to fight it? God will help you. And I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching.